I used to like battle with myself, like, should I even continue to have this relationship with you because you don't even fix it with your children? Like, you need it, not even trying to get it together with them, so why am I even trying to fix it with you? Hey boos, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the well anticipated my adoption story part 3. If you guys have not seen this series, you can definitely check right here. I have created a playlist that will give you my adoption, my foster kid story, just to catch you up. The first video was how I got taken away from my biological family. The second one was just the foster care system, you know, group homes and my abuse and stuff. And then this third one is just going to be my adoption, that whole process. And then I'm also going to give you an update on my biological family. Now, what you can do, because this video may be a little long, check the description box. I do have timestamps down below. So if you're interested in scrolling to whatever part that you want to hear about, then the timestamps should be helpful. But let's just get right into this video. Alright, so in the last video, I mentioned that I met my mom now at a party, and I did. They were hosting a scouting or adoption party for foster parents, so parents who were interested in children. I guess you can come to this party. It's like a meet and greet, I guess. So when I met her from there, we vibed really, really well. So my social worker at the time started to schedule us on visits, and I think it went to like twice a month type visits, because if you guys remember from my last foster home, she was cut. Like, after all that I went through with that lady, she knew she did not make the list. Hence the reason I was at the scout party. So my mom and I started doing like these twice a month visits. And I first visited her house. My mom had my room like set for me. She had this silk purple blanket. I had WNBA players all over the wall. I had princess things, and I had teddy bears. Now, during this moment of my life, teddy bears meant so much to me. They were super comforting because I had no one to talk to, no one to lay with. I really took pride in my teddy bears, and my mom knew this because it was just something that I expressed to her when we was just getting to know each other. So I remember this one particular visit. I'm at her house, and generally when we visit, she has to get me back probably around 7 or 8 or something like that. And it was getting close to the time that it was time for me to leave. And all day I had kept expressing to her, like, I don't want to go. Like, I wish I can stay. When is this going to be over with? So I just really complained, like, when is this going to be done? Like, when is it over? Because I just don't want to leave. So this particular day, I'm in her room, and I think I had just got done doing her hair, or she was doing mine or something. I don't know. And I looked at her and I said, Mom. And by this time, I was calling her Mom because I felt like she deserved that title. And I said, Mom, you know, when I don't want to go. Is this over? Like, when do I get to stay? And my mom looks at me and she says, Baby, you don't have to go. And I didn't get it. I said, huh? Like, yeah, I gotta go. What do you mean? And she says, welcome home. You here. And when she said that to me, I was so excited because I'm like, I get to stay. I just couldn't register it. It was just like, I used to, like, this is for real my home now. Imagine that, though. You know, visiting someplace and a place that you like, and you got to count down the days. Only got 3 days left here. Only got 2 days left. You know what I mean? It was no more of that. It was no more, all right, Nee, make sure your bag is packed. Make sure you put your favorite snacks in the bag. It was no more, I'll see you, you know, 2 weeks from now. It was no more of that. I finally was home. I really feel like that part at that time in my life was like the best moment, because when she said those words to me, that realization like really sunk in, and it just occurred to me that when you wake up tomorrow, you're still going to be here, and then you get to go to sleep and wake up the next day and you're still going to be here. Like, the countdown is no longer there. So I have been in the system for so long. My name was already in the system. My mom's name was already in the system. You just knew me. You knew my case. You knew my situation. You knew. I had been in the system for so long. So when I got with my mom, we got presented with this idea to film or to film a documentary. And the name of the documentary was called Coming Home. So the documentary was just going to document my life up into my adoption process, and it filmed the adoption process. This thing was huge, guys. Like, this was featured on the WB network. This is how old this was. But it was featured on the WB network. It was hosted by Tom Joyner. I was Wednesday's child. Like, I was huge. This part of my life was really huge. I remember we would go to grocery stores and people would be like, you are the girl that was on TV, and oh my God, girl, you so blessed. So my whole adoption, like I said, it was filmed, and I remember that day like it was yesterday. The judge who presided over my adoption had been with my case for 7 or 8 years. She was in my case when I first got taken away from my mom and signed those papers. She was there when I was being placed in my first group home, my first foster home, when I got pulled away. I mean, this woman was there through this whole journey. So it was imperative that she was the presiding judge to sign these documents. And when I tell you, in that courtroom, when she spoke, oh my God, you could hear just the hurt in her. And it was a happy cry. She was crying, and she expressed that, this child has been through so much, and finally we have found the perfect family for her. Finally, she has found her happiness, and she was just so honored to be this judge, to make this document, to finalize this document. I mean, she was crying. My mom was crying. My grandparents was crying. I was crying. It was a very, very emotional day, but reality hit, and I really feel like that's when my life just started to happen. So of course, during that time, we did receive like DVDs of the feature, and I just recently found my DVD over Christmas time. But honestly, guys, this documentary is nowhere in the archives. Like, you're not going to be able to find it online. You're not going to be able to search it. You can try it if you want to. It's called The Coming Home Story, featuring Tom Joyner, on the WB50 network. You're not going to find it, but go ahead and give it a try. But I wish I had it so that I could link it down below for you. But yeah, that was my adoption story. Now we're just going to give you an update on my biological family. So we're first going to talk about my dad. Over the years, I told you guys in my last video, my dad was in and out of jail. From my different foster homes, I don't know how he was able to find, but he used to get all of my addresses, and my dad would send me letters. Well, during this time, his letters were always in cursive, and as I was growing, I didn't understand cursive just yet. When I finally got to my mom, like when I finally found my forever home, I was able to collect these letters and keep them in a box. And I always said that when I am ready, I will read these letters. Well, finally it dawned on me, like, honey, let's go. You know how to read cursive now. Let's get to these letters. Yeah, I opened up these letters, and when I tell you, my dad just degraded me so much in these letters. I mean, everything, he blamed it on me. If you would have shut your mouth, if you would have not been so opinionated, if you would have not put the family business out there, you broke the family up. I mean, he said some bad stuff to me in these letters. And it was so shocking when I was finally able to read these letters that I kept over the years, that you were blaming a young child. It was a mess. Prior to that, I never hated my dad. I never had no ill feelings toward my dad at all. When them letters kicked in, when I read them letters, that was it with my dad. Like, I had so much hatred in my heart toward him. Unfortunately, about 3 years ago, my dad had passed away due to cirrhosis of the liver. So I was never able to address these letters with him and or just talk to him about my feelings. I remember when he was actually sick, and he was literally on his deathbed, and my sister had called me and said, hey, listen, your dad is requesting to see you, his dying wish, or he just wants to see you. Will you go? And guys, I remember that time it wasn't like I was angry, but my thing was, I'm not going to give you your dying wish. You couldn't even give me what I needed, and you think that I'm going to show up at your deathbed. So I didn't go. What I did do was I showed up to his funeral. His funeral was very emotional when I listened to all his children, and my dad, I have 14 siblings. My dad has 11 kids. I listened to all his children tell their stories and their memories of him, and it was just so emotional because I didn't have those memories, and I didn't get to know this person of him, He treated me so bad. So it was an emotional experience, but I'll tell you, my whole family, I mean, all of my sisters, my biological mom, everyone was at this funeral, but no one spoke to me. The only person I really was interested in, or the only person that I really wanted to speak to me, was my baby brother. I don't know if you guys remember, I told you I took care of this little boy when he was young. I was 6, he was 4. We're 2 years apart, and that was the only one I was really hoping that didn't turn his back on me. All my other siblings had turned their back on me for whatever reason, but I really was hoping that they didn't get in his head and he turned his back. I remember I was sitting there crying and my head was down, and for some reason I saw like this figure like on the floor, like a shadow. And because the shadow was coming toward me, I just decided to look up. And as I looked up, he looked at me, but he wasn't coming to me. He was going to the bathroom, but we made eye contact. And at this point, my heart is like beating, like, let him acknowledge me, you know. And this boy literally was like, he was shook, like he was so shook. And I remember standing, he reached his arms out and I gave him a hug. Mind you, he's like 6'4". And I gave him a hug, and that was so validating to me. Just that moment, it made me realize that he's still my number one fan. Like, that is still my baby. You know, nobody got to him or was able to get to him. He embraced me, and you could just, he was crying his heart out, man. You could just tell that he was super happy to finally see me. At the funeral, like I said, my biological mom was there. I really didn't say too much to her. Hey, how you doing? Sorry for your loss. Gave her a hug. But that was it. I'll just give you an update on my biological mom. Following the funeral, I don't know, I had like this epiphany. For some reason, when I got that phone call that my dad was sick, I thought it was going to be the phone call telling me that it was my mom. And I knew if it was my mom, I really was going to like hate myself, because I had been beating myself up for years to reach out to your mom, make it right with your mom, because she never wronged me. She never hurt me. She never did anything to me. She just was suffering with addiction. I try to tell people, if you have a family member or someone that you love or someone that's super close to you that's suffering with addiction, don't, pound that person, man. I watched my mom firsthand how these drugs really took over her life. So unfortunately, it was her decision to try drugs, but y'all, when you in that, it's so hard to get out of it. I mean, drugs really control you, and you need all the help and all the motivation and strength that you need just to pull yourself out of it. So I never blamed her for her drug use and her addiction, because if anything, I felt bad for her and I wanted her to get out of that. So when I found out it was not her, it was just like, after my dad's funeral, it was like, let's make this right with your mom. I attempted to make it right with her. It went left. It didn't work. But I said, you know what? Don't give up. At least let yourself get another try. I tried it again. And I will say, for 3 years now, me and my mom are on a great page. We have a very, very good relationship. I don't talk to her every day. If anything, it's like twice a week. I do talk to her. We laugh. We talk. We're really, really good, to be honest. When I'm in town, I make it if I can, I go visit her. I go chill at her house. But we're good. We're really in a great space right now. And I'm happy that I did that. She's dealing with health issues of her own, and I don't know the extent of, her issues, but I know if she was to pass before I would be completely fine with myself, because my job is done. I reached out to her. I gave her the opportunity for us both to build a type of relationship, for us both to understand each other. And I'm happy. I'm happy with the space we're in. So if anything was to happen, I wouldn't hate myself. I would really be content, because I made that move. I did what I was forcing myself to do, and we have something. So I'll just, my little brother and I are good. My mom and I are good. I'll just move on to my other siblings. I told you guys I have 2 other brothers and 2 other sisters. One of those brothers was actually taken away with me and my younger brother. We don't talk. None of them. They do not talk to me. I don't talk to them. If I'm at my mom's house, they're there. And we don't say a word, like a word. It's crazy, because the brother that got taken away with me, him and I were like super close. So when I noticed that he had this animosity toward me just recently this year, guys, I said, you know what? Let me just be the bigger person. Let me sit him down and let me see what's wrong with him. Guys, I did that, and honestly, that is one of the things on my regret list just on my regret list, period. Because the conversation didn't go well at all. You could tell the amount of hate he still had in his heart, the amount of hurt he was dealing with. I mean, this boy is still holding on to things that I said when I was 6, things I said when I was 8. If you can't differentiate that mind of an 8-year-old is totally different, and it continues to grow, and people say things when they're young and don't mean it. I mean, if you haven't realized that, then it's not my job to make you realize that. He has a lot of things that he's holding against me. One of the things that I got from that conversation that I had with him is, it's clear that he feels like that I feel like I'm better than them. On the outside looking in, my life looks grand. So to him, he feels like I'm too good for them. But you could just tell that he's dealing with so much hurt, and I'm not going to be the one to fix that hurt for him. I'm just not going to ever try to sit him down and talk to him again. It's clear that he has the issue with me, and I'm just not doing that to myself. It was simply humiliating, and I didn't have to do it, but I did it, and that's just something I wouldn't do again. My other siblings, I don't know. They're grown. I can't tell you why they don't speak to me. I can't tell you why they're holding this grudge against me. I could take a big guess. I feel like they are not. They aren't happy with the decision that I made. They wasn't happy that I was the only one that didn't come back. My mom got all her kids back except for me. She cleaned her life up. She's sober now. She's been off of drugs for years. But I was the only one that didn't come back. So I think they don't like me because of that. I think they don't like me because of the amount of hurt they seen their mom go through because not having me. I think they don't like me. There's a lot of reasons why. I really feel like they don't like me now because they see the person that I am just through conversation. I'm not this angry person. I'm not this uppity person. Most people who come around me who have not seen me end up loving me. It's like, wow, I didn't know you was this person, or wow, I didn't know you was so warming, or wow, so I really feel like they're envious of that, or not even envious. I just feel like they don't like that. They're forcing themselves to not like me, because at the end of the day, I feel like if they was to give me a chance and talk to me, they would love me, but I don't think they want to do that. I really don't stress about it though. I mean, they talk so bad about me on Facebook, man, and it is what it's gonna be. My life goes on. I ain't had them in my life for years. It's not like I need them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're still dealing with things, and they can deal with that with themselves, but I don't have to be a part of that. It's like, how do you fault me for the actions of your parents? How do you take away from my story? I was the one that got taken away. I was the one that was placed in foster care. I was the one that got abused from people I don't even know. I was the one that tried to attempt suicide. I was the one that, how you gonna try to take my story away? How are you angry at me because I decided to give myself a better life and a better opportunity? How you mad at that? I think the biggest issue I have with my mom, my biological mom, is, in my opinion, she condones it. I did reach out to her and brought this to her attention, like, why you letting your kids, talk so bad about your child? Why you letting your kids hate each other and not hate each other, but, why you didn't fix this with your kids? Why do you think it's okay that your kids don't like each other? As a parent, you will want to fix this. And you know what? I feel like this. If you don't care, I don't care. Why should I care? If you're okay with them being angry at me for your actions, then that says a lot. So a part of me still has that animosity, and I'm still angry at her for that because she just won't fix it. But my thing is, if you're willing to leave this earth whenever you leave it and your kids are still separated and you're okay with that, then watch her. It's very hurtful that she's allowing it. It's very hurtful that she has not stepped in. It's very hurtful that she doesn't say anything. I used to battle with myself, like, should I even continue to have this relationship with you because you don't even fix it with your children? Like, you need it, not even trying to get it together with them, so why am I even trying to fix it with you? But you know what? God knows my heart, man, and God knows my intentions, and at the end of the day, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's if they come around, they come around. If they don't, they don't. My life has been fine without them, and life goes on. But I do harbor these feelings against my mom, and I don't bring it up anymore. I brought it up once. You ain't do nothing about it. I'm just not about to show you that it's something that stresses me or make me feel some type of way, because guess what? You don't care. Why am I caring? If you was to ask me how I'm doing and how do I feel, honestly, I'm okay, y'all. I'm at peace. I really, really am. I am so happy with the maturity I have. I'm so happy with the heart I have. I'm so happy with my amount of resiliency. I'm just happy with the person that I turned out to be. If somebody told me, Nee, we got to press the rewind button, you got to do this all over again, I would be completely fine with it, and I would make those same choices all over again. Because those choices and what I decided with my life made me to be the person that I am today. I'm well, you know, I'm financially stable, I'm doing good, I'm pursuing my education, my master's degree. Like, I'm doing good for myself, man. I can't ask for nothing better. You know, I have a great family. I mean, a great family. My mom is literally my mom. Like, it's like she birthed me. We are so connected. That's my best friend. Like, if anything ever happened to her, I don't even know what I would be. My sister and I, we're super close. My family, man, it's like I wasn't an addition. It was just something. It's like I've been here for years, you know, so I'm fine. I don't let that affect me. I don't let that get to me. As I always say, man, life goes on, you know, and I'm okay. So that's it. Me and my baby brother and I, we are like this. Actually, if you click right here, you can see a vlog with him and I in. I actually took him out for his 22nd birthday, so just check that out. Me and him are close. That's my baby. My mom and I have a really good relationship. My dad passed away. I was not able to even present any questions to him or even make it better with him. And then my siblings, they where they at, but that's that. But I'm doing fine. That was just my whole adoption story and just an update on where I am with my biological family. So I really hope that you guys did enjoy this series. This is it, honey. There's nothing else that I'm willing to spill, because what you gonna read in the book? You know, what you gonna read? No, seriously, I am in the process of writing a book. Pray for me that I pick the pen back up, guys. I started this book when I was like 14, and I still have it to this day. I take this book everywhere with me because I know that I'm going to pick it back up. But it's time to, man. I have the resources to. I have the memory to, you know, and my life is still going. So it's time to pick this book back up, and I have the platform too. So I think this will be a great hit for myself. But just pray for me, guys. Be on the lookout for the book. But that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to check the description box for timestamps. Don't forget to check the corner for the playlist if you want to get updated on it. If you have any questions, you can definitely leave it down below. Give me a thumbs up so that I know you guys enjoyed this. And that's it. I love you guys. I thank you all so much. You guys have stuck around through so much, man. You support me on so much. I really appreciate you guys just being a boo. Just being a boo. I can't thank you enough. But anyways, I'm NeneTanae to all my new subbies. Hey, boo. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all.